Welcome to the 15th Annual Backcountry Film Festival, celebrating the human-powered winter experience in backcountry communities around the world, produced by Winter Wildlands Alliance. Thanks to our sponsors for their help in bringing the Backcountry Film Festival to life, including Sierra Nevada Brewing, Fly Low, Outdoor Research, Bonfire Collective, Backcountry Magazine, and Yeti, with support from Big Agnes, Mountain Khakis, All Good, Scratch Labs, Mountain Flow Eco Wax, Mammut, Dynafit, Osprey, and Black Crows.
Winter Wildlands Alliance is an advocacy group representing human-powered backcountry skiers.
Committed outdoor enthusiasts who are inspired by spending time in the outdoors.
We're advocates for quiet recreation.
Want to make sure that folks have access to these wild places.
The Winter Wildlands Alliance puts on a snow school that brings 30,000 kids into the snow on snowshoes, children who wouldn't otherwise be able to go there, and teaches them about hydrology and winter wildlife and snow science so that they can appreciate it into the future.
It's big, it's national, and it's making a difference with kids.
The Winter Wildlands Alliance Backcountry Film Festival is really a way to inspire others to gather the tribe of backcountry enthusiasts and to share the love that we all have for inner landscapes.
All about the human-powered experience, and of course, just stoked.
We work at a local, regional, and national level to provide support for people that want to travel in the backcountry in a quiet, peaceful manner.
Building a national community where we can work together and learn from each other.
They give us the information and the tools to be able to use our voice to protect the places that we love.
The human-powered skiers have a voice now, and it's key to be represented.
Snow is amazing.
You can run in it, catch it, and literally dig your hands into it.
Snow inspires kids like me to get excited about nature and science.
That's why Winter Wildlands Alliance believes every kid should get the opportunity to go to snow school.
After all, snow-covered public lands belong to all of us, and their future depends on citizens like us who feel an emotional connection to the wild places.
This winter, snow school will get 35,000 kids outside and over 70 locations nationwide. So what are you waiting for?
Whether your backcountry community already has a snow school site or you want to learn more about starting one, us kids are waiting and ready to get out there.
Go to snowschool.org for more info.
And remember, keep winter wild.
Snow school!
The outdoor community knows the importance of margins.
Oh, she almost just got swept.
The seemingly small efforts made at just the right moments carry enough weight to tip the scale from failure to success.
Jessica Diggins going for her first win of the season, and it's Jessie Diggins of the United States.
The margins, those places where we are made or defeated, keep us coming back for more.
More than 15,000 scientists are sounding an alarm about climate change. They call it a warning to humanity.
Environmental and political history are also made at the margins.
That is why it matters. 29 electoral college votes.
77,000 votes in key districts swung the 2016 presidential election. 3 Senate votes opened the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge to drilling. To solve the climate crisis, the world needs our community. It's the sum of our small efforts where we turn our passion into purpose and deliver climate victories where they're needed most.
Our friend Mason, probably freaked out by the idea of getting married soon, found this remote river to raft in search of ski lines. There are better places to gamble, but since he can't ski in Vegas, this is his twisted idea of a bachelor party. We're floating the length of the Tashnashini River, through the Yukon, British Columbia, and into Alaska, ending in the St. Elias Mountains. Oh yeah, as far as we know, this river's frozen. Maybe Vegas would have been the right choice after all.
We've got some jungle jams going on this afternoon after lunch. It's been good vibes, nothing but good vibes. The mountains look big. We still have only seen them from pretty far away, but from what we've seen, I think the scale and size of things is going to be, you know, a new experience. It's going to be awesome.
Call it beginner's luck. The river had thawed and our first week drifted by. We moved every day, spending more time hauling gear than anything else, really. Usually in a dark drizzle of rain. The thought of clear skies, big lines, and the opportunity to set up a base camp kept us going.
Trying to pull off a raft to ski adventure has some inherent challenges. Like rafting and skiing are opposite seasons, so best you can hope for is bad rafting and bad skiing, and so far it's been great rafting, so we'll see about the skiing.
Honestly, the vibe of the trip is hilarious. I've never really been on a trip like this before. There's just 10 of us. Everybody's pretty stoked. Everybody's personalities get along.
So we've got our ski zones. Our first option kind of sits just down the river here. We're gonna kind of set up camp there for 4 or 5 days and have some potential storms moving in. So I'm gonna hurry down there today and see if we can get set up and ski some stuff.
Problem with waiting till a river's unfrozen is that generally the snow is melted out to a high elevation, which means a pretty good bushwhack from the river.
These boys are digging a pit and kind of seeing what's going on in the snowpack. Here there's a lot of debris. Huge wet slides happening around here, and so we're trying to navigate it.
Basically, the whole mountain has slid in the last week or so after this big storm, and I'm really questioning why I decided to come on this trip. I'm not the greatest skier, and we're just skiing Avi debris, which is heinous. It's almost comical how shitty this is.
Calling it a slow start might be a bit of an understatement. hadn't found the dream ski lines that led Mason here in the first place. Inches of rain had saturated the snowpack and slid almost everything in sight. All we could do is carry our chips downstream for better odds.
We just crossed from British Columbia into Alaska. No border guards out here, sneaking on in. Just absolutely gorgeous day. Scoping all these beautiful ski lines that I cannot wait to get up onto.
Make me stay. Get me down the easy street, that's where I wanna be. Feeling groovy, or feeling funky, every one of these is street. Get me back to my place, that's the only way out. I'm gonna stay down an easy street.
Wait, let me get a quick photo. This is too legendary. We're gonna make cocktails on the beach tonight.
Yeah, this is exactly what you'd want. Fat flakes from the storm that chased us off the glacier. But our forecast came through with days of heavy rain, so we settled down in the tents and chipped away at our whiskey reserves.
Currently writing love letters to Jenna.
I'll do a pad thai delivery service here.
3, 2, 1, break.
Oh, go now.
Go, 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 go. Our campsite has slowly shrunk as the water has risen over the last 2 days. Particularly our kitchen over there in Tarp City.
I feel like the luckiest man on earth to be on this beautiful, sunny beach.
Yeah, Cassie's on a beach right now in Southern California in the sun. So we're actually doing pretty similar things. This is Mason's bachelor party, yeah. Sick bastard. This is what he chose to do. Get us all out here in the middle of freaking nowhere in the rain to hang out on a shitty beach that's calving away into the creek that's rising.
It's the most blue sky we've seen since day one. It's pretty rad. He's air drying, doing some sun salutations.
Our little rafts were now swamped by the size of the muddy river. The ocean was now only a few days away. Entering the third week, we'd still yet to really ski anything. Maybe the house does always win, but we had one last roll.
I think we have like a mile and a half to get to camp tonight, and it's all over sandbar here, no water. Icebergs flowing into the lake was a little too sketchy and non-passable, so we're rigging up all sorts of different contraptions to get the job done.
Yeah, like 5 bills bags, but this thing's like guillotine, dude. It's just. Can you breathe? It's getting
This is a good teamwork exercise, Brian.
All right.
Wait, I can take more weight. Give me that good to go bag.
Wait, you can take more weight, but I get a vote too, right?
We actually found a smart system that works. The other ones failed miserably. In terms of the journey, we're most of the way to the end now, and every day, every campsite, every mile, the mountains have gotten bigger, the river's gotten bigger, the views have gotten bigger. And then to finally get spit out into this with
insane views, big peaks, and the ocean right there is definitely the grand finale we've all been looking forward to, and it's gonna be a fun couple days here.
Well, this whole idea was a bit of a gamble. But regardless of the outcome, it was one hell of a way to celebrate Mason's next big leap in life. Our first glimpse of the ocean came from atop our last line, at the end of our 3 weeks together. On paper, I guess we'd come searching for the biggest ski lines of our lives. But in reality, we'd come to slow down, remove distractions, and invest time in simply being together. Being together. I guess that's the real meaning behind a bachelor party anyway.
Three, two, one, jump!
Casual glacier slide on Allset Lake.
I love about being outside. Painting outside feels like I'm so lucky to be here in this moment, and nothing else is happening in the world except for me being in the mountains and experiencing this place and this energy and this movement. When I'm painting in the studio, it's harder to harness that energy and life and movement, and the clouds aren't moving above me, and the wind isn't blowing in my face, and there isn't dirt on my painting, and all of those things that are sort of the chaos of the mountains add so much life to paintings. And so it's important to do them outside for that. Traveling in the mountains, there's so many things that you don't know until you do them or someone teaches you, but mainly you just need to do them. And if you're lucky, the mountains are a forgiving teacher, and you learn from your experiences, and art's the same way. I only got better by doing it every day and sticking with it. I think that climbing and mountaineering and art, they're both challenges and problems that I get to dive into and investigate and have to solve or work through. And they both have really low points where you feel like it's not going to work out, or it isn't worth it, or it's terrible. And then you have the high points where you've gotten to the summit, or you've seen a beautiful view, or you got to stop and eat lunch. And art's the same way, where you go through this process of working through a painting and coming out on the other side, even though it was hard. And those are often the best paintings in the best mountains, where it was really hard and you came out and you just did it anyway. So I'm not sure about this, but I think that wonder is more powerful when it's juxtaposed with struggle and something that's hard. And so part of the wonder of being in the mountains is doing the hard work and feeling like it's really pushing my limits and being there anyway and accepting those feelings as part of me and moving through them and still taking in all of the magic landscape around me. And so when it's hard and I still get that beautiful view, that feels wondrous. When you get to a high place, you can see to the other side, where you can see what's below you and around you and behind you. And it's something that I don't get when I'm on the beach or in the desert. Being outside and painting is a way to slow down for a minute and really take it all in and really see where I am and experience what's happening and what the mountains are like. And to really capture the feeling of freedom and having worked so hard to get somewhere so beautiful that maybe no one else has seen or not many people have seen. And just the wonder that I get to be there and experience this light and this moment the way it is. It's so amazing. Such a gift.
Holy fuck, dude. Thought you were gonna die.
Less speed.
Less speed.
I gotta ski more, ski better than last season, and at the same time reduce my emissions.
He went really fast.
That was nice. I can taste the pow in my mouth.
That was so much fun.
I feel like this year is maybe a start of something.
I also have these like sustainable toothbrushes, but right now I'm using a very non-sustainable one.
I have the same one, but just not with me.
This is really nice actually. Yeah. It's like really soft.
Yeah, I like it soft too.
Yeah.
Like really soft.
Yeah.
This is the crew for this story. Jonas, Erik, Christer, and then myself on the right. My name is Nikolai. This is my face, and this is my face getting smashed by a gang of bushes.
I'm okay.
I ski for a living and live for skiing.
Yes, that felt so good.
The past decade, I've skied all over the world, chasing the best snow and the best mountains. With the obvious paradox being that the more I chase the snow, the more of it I melt. So this year, I wanted to run an experiment to see if I could ski better with less emissions.
Here in Bergen, gonna meet with Örjan from Protect Our Winters, and he's also working as a climate consultant or environmental consultant for businesses. So I'm gonna see if he can do that for my skiing.
Come on. Örjan explained that my current footprint was hilariously big.
An average Norwegian would have, let's say, roughly 13 tons of CO2 emissions per year. We found your emissions to be something around 40, and 77% were due to transport. So the first rule would be to travel less.
And that seemed to be the theme of it. Less of everything. I mean, in reality, the easiest way to cut my emissions would be to just do nothing. But the whole reason I wanted to do this, aside from saving the coral reefs, coastal populations, farmlands, and preventing mass migrations, potentially destabilizing the entire global community, was to be able to shred forever. So for this experiment to be a success, I need to also ski, and ski better than last season. Or as Ørjan said, experience more. And the Norwegian skiing community will decide by popular vote at the Fri Flyt film tour in Oslo this fall, comparing every air, turn, and line to decide the fate of the experiment. So to be sure of success, first thing this November, I jumped on a flight to Canada and launched the biggest cliff I could find. Slough racing by me in the air, roaring almost as loud as the crowds would this fall as I stomped. No. I conveniently set the starting point to the experiment to after that intercontinental trip, so I can't use any of those clips in Oslo this fall. The first thing I did do was to put on my recycled Gore-Tex, sort out my recycling, convert my home to clean energy from Gudbrandsdal Energi, fire up the I3, and chase snow in the most obvious location. My backyard.
First morning.
It's snowing like over a week.
Yeah, but it'll be sweet because there's 2 hours of sort of light and it's south facing, so it'll be all red.
Oh yeah.
And the terrain is sick.
December spines or December rocks. We'll see.
With minimal snowfall and a sun that never rises midwinter, I've always left Tromsø to go skiing. But my childhood friends, Erik and Christer, have spent a lot of winters up here.
I've kind of been stuck up here.
Been here all my life. It can be really good, the snow.
I think it might be patter actually.
You think so?
Like patter-ish.
But it's really tricky because you don't have any sun. So you need headlamps and you need to start really early. I'm pretty confident that there's better snow in the couloir than on East End. Yeah, I think so. Like more protected.
They're kick-ass snowboarders, and this year they've dropped everything to send.
Hey guys, do you have any more work this winter? Nope.
No.
What about girlfriends? Nope.
No.
Let's get going.
I've never done anything big there.
Christer comes from a freestyle background. He joined me like 3 years ago. And then he just took the backcountry thing really fast.
Dropping in 3, 2, 1.
Faster than anyone I've seen. And he also likes to go fast. So it's really fun to ride with him.
Nikolai in 3, 2, 1, drop.
From a pissed shred.
What does it look like?
3, 2, 1, dropping.
Regular Norwegian strong muscle dude. He puts so much power into his riding. It's crazy watching him ride.
Whoa. Holy. Oh shit. Dude.
That was so much fun.
That was crazy.
Crazy fun, but it won't do for the vote in Oslo. And I burned 37 kilos of CO2 riding a wind-buffed couloir. While the I3 is clean, the sleeping quarters, OB van, runs a thirsty diesel engine and is heated with propane trucked all the way up here, making it harder to cut emissions when riding far from the house. There's a whiff of snow in the air, and we keep hunting.
Look at that thing. It's so narrow. Okay.
We kind of went for it, like the conditions weren't perfect.
It looks pretty sketchy. Snow's pretty hard.
But we had to check it out, like discover how it was. I asked him, are you gonna charge this or just ride it controlled? Like, yeah, I'm gonna charge and ride it controlled, so.
Hva den kjenner på?
Litt nervøs.
Ja, litt nervøs, litt kald.
Litt varm, I'm ready.
Stay safe, ride hard.
He went really fast.
Fuck! I'm okay, but my ski popped off. Fuck.
I could have been neck deep in Japan, but the boys are 100% behind the project. What would you do if you had my kind of budgets?
I would definitely go to Alaska and do heli skiing.
And I can't let them down.
Okay, I'm ready to go again.
We can have it all, what is it all? 'Cause money make us rise and make us fall. We're living on a dream.
Well, that was exciting. Like, the snow is really variable, Krister, so take care when you come down.
And here we go again. 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 Here we go again.
Yeah, Kristen! Woo! Hey! Woo! Holy moly, dude! Fuck!
Den er jo spice, ja.
Gikk det bra med deg?
Ja.
Fy faen.
We pretty much nailed that in terms of difficult terrain, but we still need to find good snow to be able to ride well.
It got really warm in Tromsø, so now we're here in Tamok, where it's colder.
You're in the clear.
Depends if there's enough snow. It looks pretty bushy down here. Just gonna have to find some landings and see what happens.
Pretty different from Canada, probably.
Yeah, pretty different from Canada, but it'll be fun.
Last season I didn't ride that much with Nikolai, but this season I've been pretty impressed because he actually stepped it up a little bit, I think. And that's pretty hard when you're at that level.
There were embers in the air, and the engine kept on running, but the drivers disappeared.
Erik dropping in 3, 2, 1. Erik dropping.
So I'll stop turning, and I wonder, did we go too far in the pursuit of a speeding car? I wonder, did we go too far in the pursuit of a burning car? Started counting days. We've kept them on our fingertips. The day we parted ways, with our fleet of sinking ships. And I wonder, did we go too far in the pursuit of a speeding car?
I see a bush laying
Yeah, you don't know if it's just rocks or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's actually the best snow I've had in Tarmuk for years.
We're staying up all night to watch our shadows move. We're staying up all night to watch our shadows move. We're staying up all night to watch our shadows move. We're staying up all night.
Hey, that was sweet!
Good work today. Hey. So I guess climate-wise, that was the easy part because it didn't really go far from home. Can really burn a lot of fuel. But I'm not sure about the riding yet, if that's good enough to beat last year. So stay tuned for the next chapter.
This layer was the fresh snow, which released pretty easily.
It means that everything is fucked now. So I think basically it could be a good time to pack up and leave, head south.
Trading my youth for no suit and jacket. I ain't giving my freedom for your money instead. So don't say I'm getting older, 'cause I say when I do. 'Cause everybody I know is growing old, too quickly. And I don't wanna go, no, how am I supposed to slow it down so I can figure out who I am? And I ain't trading my dreams for no 401k.
Here in Vermont, as you can see, the woods grow pretty thick. You can't really just ski in the woods without anything that's somewhat cut. Before the Rochester Area Sports Trails Alliance formed, everything was, either cut illegally or on private land.
This project in particular has been a very interesting project because it hasn't been done across the country.
No one else has gotten approval to cut and manage backcountry ski lines on the U.S. Forest Service land.
It is one of the first times that we've managed for backcountry skiing while also addressing the ecological restoration component.
We're all a little bit scared that we're going to do something drastically wrong and it's never going to work for backcountry skiers ever again.
Been a real community effort up here. There's untold hours from untold people.
To be able to share that, improve it for everybody, not just for yourself, but for others, it's a pretty cool concept.
Not everybody gets to live right next to Brandon Gap like we do, but most people have some type of resource nearby, and if you can find some adventure that's nearby, that's in your neighborhood, figure out a way to do that, figure out what works. Now you can go out and have a real authentic adventure, and you're going to be doing some sick skiing too.
I hope a project like this continues well past my lifetime.
We're a visual culture, and most of the things that we're informed about come from what we see. And the soundscape is a whole magical area that we've not explored yet. It's very engaging and rich. The three components of the soundscape, one being the geophony, or the natural sounds that we hear that are non-biological, like wind in the trees or water in a stream. The biophony, which are all the collective sounds that organisms make in a given habitat. And the anthropophony, all of the sounds that humans generate, like those which are controlled, like music and theater and language, or chaotic and incoherent, which we call noise. Human noise really affects the biophony of a given landscape. And we have to be very, very careful and very quiet when we're in habitats to be aware of how we're affecting the soundscape that we're in. You get far away from where human habitation is, as far away as you feel comfortable doing, and just listen to the natural soundscape. It's all magical and informative and engaging and life-affirming.
I've been training for this climb my whole life. This is what happened and this is my reality. It's just not the story I want to tell. In April 2019, I'm going to climb Mount Everest. We're calling it a climb for equality. Only only 11% of people who've climbed Everest are women. That 11% is really similar to the female Fortune 500 CEOs or Hollywood directors. When you look at who's at the top, you still see an absence of women. There's not equal opportunity. Over the course of my career, it's been very difficult for me to find technical ski mountaineering gear in my size. For instance, 8,000 meter boots start at a size 39, which is a women's 8. So if you're a woman's 5, you're gonna be climbing in boots that are 3 sizes too big. It also has a huge psychological effect. You just instantly feel like you're not welcome, you don't belong. It took me a long time to feel that it was acceptable to be who I really am. You don't train to climb a mountain like Everest in 2 or 3 months. This is a lifelong process, building my skills on smaller mountains across the world. But to prepare my body, I'm sleeping in a hypoxico tent every night at an increasingly higher altitude. At 8,000 meters, you're operating at a really reduced capacity. Basic motor skills, everything is all decreased. So I'll weigh my backpack down with water or rocks, go up a couple thousand feet, and be out for 12 to 15-hour days, climbing up and skiing down. For the past 8 years of my life, I've been training for Everest. It gives you a real sense of power and capability. But then you feel the fragility of life. How quickly things can go wrong. Hearing my knee pop, it was just a sickening feeling. Like instantly I started to panic. I just knew. I just thought my whole life was over. I wasn't gonna be able to go to Everest. I'd lose all my money in sponsorships, and I was gonna go into financial ruin because of this stupid little fall.
Do you have any pain here?
A little bit on
This side.
right there. I mean, this is seriously probably one of my worst nightmares, to have a knee injury. But you get beat up a million times in a million different ways. Sometimes you have to accept what life hands you.
In 7 weeks, you recover well enough that is considered safe to go up there, maybe with a hinge brace or something.
Right.
But you don't want to have a knee that start to swell up or bother you when you're up on top of the Everest.
I tore my ACL. This is what happened, and this is my reality. It's just not the story I want to tell. I could still climb Everest, and that's my goal right now, is to heal. In less than 6 weeks, I leave for Everest. All my energy is just going to icing, keeping the swelling down. I have Everest to focus on to keep my mind occupied, just taking it one day at a time. I'm pretty stubborn and headstrong, so if there's anyone who can do it, it's me. I want to see more women getting to the top. This is really hard. So painful. And I just feel really sick in my stomach and really scared. slowly. And looking down, 24,500 feet.
Pretty amazing.
Oh my gosh. Looks like we might make a huge push for the summit tomorrow. Oh my God, it's been such a crazy trip. With every step of the journey, there was a lot of anxiety. I had to learn how to use my leg without an ACL and to acclimatize. Just the worst kind of pain and suffering. But Everest pushes you to use everything you've got. It brings out the best parts of the human spirit. It's just a lifelong achievement.
Having grown up in the mountains that Colter explored, it wasn't until I really started digging into this topic that I gained a respect for what he did.
The biggest draw for us was that it was terrain that we knew was there, but we hadn't seen and we hadn't explored yet.
If you know what the outcome will be, then it's not an adventure. And Sawyer certainly going into his Colter trip didn't know what the outcome would be.
Lots of excitement, distress, sadness, pain, knee-deep snow and muck and mud.
John Colter! John Colter! John Colter!
Hi, my name's Sawyer Thomas, and I'm from Jackson Hole originally.
Growing up, Sawyer would go on lots of outings with me. I don't know that Sawyer ever knew that he had a choice in the matter.
Over the years, my knowledge of the area has expanded, and it started out just being around Jackson and exploring new places.
It definitely instilled in Sawyer real comfort level in the outdoors, in the mountains, and on snow.
Yeah, Sawyer and I grew up skiing together. Woo! He's my best backcountry partner. He's the person that I trust the most in the backcountry to make the correct decision with me. Oh! A big part of that is just who he is as a person, deep down. Just a weirdo, absolute weirdo.
So 2 years ago, I was curious and I started researching the history of Yellowstone, and I came across this story that I had known my entire life of John Colter. I had never really understood how much of a complete lunatic this guy was.
He was part of the Lewis and Clark expedition, but rather than return east with the rest of the party, he decided to remain west, trapping beaver and exploring the area. He's the subject of many stories, but above all else, his expedition through the greater Yellowstone area really stands out to me.
In the fall of 1807, Colter left Fort Raymond, headed south over hundreds of miles of unexplored wilderness,
to go spend 8 months in the winter by himself, crossing over the mountains. So Colter never kept a journal. All we have to work with is a couple secondhand sources that really don't tell the whole picture. And historians have their own interpretations of exactly where he went. But after looking at a few different maps, I saw one common theme. They all go through some of the most remarkable ski terrain in the lower 48. So I rallied together this group of friends and we decided to recreate a section of his route.
We went out on a scouting mission to see what we could expect from the area.
I do have to say that most of my best adventures have been with Sawyer, so I figured might as well give it a shot.
All the snow that's sticking to my skis.
This is where we are, and the parking lot's right there.
We spent 7 days winter camping and we managed to just completely destroy ourselves.
The most intimidating skiing in the lower 48, in my opinion. It's really big mountains, really big couloirs, and a lot of that terrain is unpredictable.
I don't know if you can see this crown right here. It goes across the entire face.
Just fell in a giant cornice hole. Holy shit. Hopefully my eyes don't cross and stay crossed for the rest of my life. Right now I just feel like
You're actually there.
I'm actually finally exhausted. I think I finally know what that feeling is like.
It was brutal. However, on that trip we managed to find some of the most incredible ski terrain that I had ever seen. And as soon as we finished up, I knew that I had to go back and I had to do the entire route. I had just graduated from college and I took the entire winter. I found these spots along the route and made missions to just go out and explore and ski in these areas. And I got to see all of these incredible new places that I would have never seen otherwise.
The way that we wanted to structure this was so that we could go and ski the terrain and then run it at a separate time. We decided that we had to go back and we had to do the entirety of the route in one go.
All right, here we go. The first day of the John Colter route, and I really have no idea what to expect for this next month and a half.
Hi, Sawyer.
My parents came up from Jackson Hole yesterday, and they're gonna bike with me the next 3 days. So right now we're at the confluence of the Bighorn and the Yellowstone River, and somewhere right around here would have been where Fort Raymond was 200 years ago. I guess this is it. This is the beginning. Here we go. It's a long, flat road. We're getting about 200 miles out of the way over these next couple days.
Hello, Cody, Wyoming. How we doing on a Monday night?
Throughout the entire winter, we showed up to these places where we'd never been before and just had to figure it out as we went.
Day one in Cody. A little bit uninspiring, I gotta say.
A lot of the times, we would just get completely skunked and end up with terrible conditions and terrible terrain. But then occasionally we'd stumble across something, got up high enough, and all of a sudden there was this beautiful ski terrain.
I'm spread too thin, can't give all my time away.
All right, just finished up the biking portion with my parents. We just met up with Reese.
Made it.
So we've got a month of running, a month of suffering ahead of us.
There's nothing but rain in the forecast.
Yep. That about sums it up.
Running in the rain's good for you. Makes you tough.
Hopefully we don't bump into too much snow, and hopefully we don't have to do too many like creek crossings and drainage crossings. But it's also the wilderness, so there's a good chance that we're gonna get all of that.
Just a bit of a shit show right off the bat. But, you know, we only lost 45 minutes on that creek crossing with the bridge 200 feet down, so I'm calling it a win.
Plenty of day to get lost still.
We haven't gone very far, and we have a long way to go, and a lot of hard work ahead of us.
A lot of shale. Where are you going. We're lost on a cliff.
And it's just too deep. I don't think we can get across the river, so I guess our plan as of right now is to head back the whole way we just came. That looks pretty gnarly. I don't know.
We did it. We made it across the river. That's crazy. 5 hours later. And now we can start our 10-mile run here at 4 in the afternoon. We made it to Camp 1. It is absolutely gorgeous.
Let's get set up camp. We got a really long day tomorrow because we kind of addicted today.
Just hanging out here, drinking coffee in the rain before we go start our 23-mile run today.
It's like football fields of downed trees.
Fuck, it's so cold.
You can hear the wolves howling back there. That black dot over there is a huge grizzly.
Hey, bear.
Hey, bear.
Mean snow.
Right now we're post-holing up to the top of this divide, and we luckily found some grizzly bear prints that we're following, and they're keeping us from breaking through and post-holing, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, this bear knows where we're going way better than we know where we're going, so we're just following it.
We're tired, sir. What do you say?
Almost to the divide. So close.
Lots of snow. It's gonna be a late night.
That was ridiculous.
31 miles over 13 hours. Just like pure desperation at the end there. Let's go to bed.
Let's go to bed. After those first couple of days running in the mountains, it became apparent that we were just way in over our heads. It was really eye-opening to come out of there and understand that I had a month of this ahead of me. All right, we're getting ready to go back out there in the snow. All of a sudden it was apparent that we weren't just going and running for a month. Although doing it in May was more historically accurate, it was going to make it so much harder.
Classic. Just I'll throw myself against the wall until I break, I guess. Trees. Yeesh. Another long day.
Now we're at the top of Togadu Pass. It's crazy. It's been cold, blowing, whiteout conditions. It looked almost identical to how it had in December when we were winter camping there.
We got some clearing coming up to the north over here, and so we should be dropping in soon.
Running in the snow, yeah, it sounds really fun.
I'm gonna go home and go take a shower. Get out of here, because this has been crazy.
It's a nice dirt road for a very short amount of time. It'll feel good.
Somehow Sawyer convinced me to drag my camera and myself 24 miles today, so see how that goes.
Time for an adventure.
Oh boy.
I just hit 100 miles of running. Only 500 left to go.
made such a big difference having these people come and support me and join me running. The idea that I'm going for with this project is something that's shared by so many people in the area. Well, Haley made it out here. She brought the van and she's gonna be joining me for the next 10 days, running with me and helping me out with the shuttle. Hopefully there will be a little bit less confusion, a little bit less getting lost.
Once I made it home on the Colter route, I finally started to feel like I was getting in a groove.
You know, it's kind of a push to get out of bed and get moving. But once I get going, I'm feeling great. My parents have been the most supportive out of really anyone.
We last saw Sawyer as they were venturing off on the wrong side of the Shoshone River because they couldn't get back across it, and immediately ran into a sow grizzly and a cub walking along the road, and then a torrential downpour just dumping. But I guess, you know, everybody has their thing. That's Sawyer's thing.
Jackson Hole has always been a training ground for me growing up, and every time I come back here, I'm so impressed by the community. The people here are just fired up, ready to go. This section, I've just got my dad coming along.
Yeah, somebody's got to set the pace for Sawyer.
Hopefully we don't get sick. Expiration date best before August 16th, 2017.
Only 2 years past the expiration date.
This is a huge slide path.
Okay, goodbye, drive through.
We didn't find anywhere to cross the river up higher, so we decided to just go down to the marsh and muck it across. Oh, you okay? Oh, no! Dry land, and look, there's even a trail.
We survived! I can't wait to take off these soggy shoes.
Headed up into Yellowstone National Park. It's wild. So far, I haven't seen one other person on the trail with me, and I think that's all about to change. We're going into the middle of the crowds right now, so it'll be a little different. Yet another rainy day. We've got about 20 miles to go again today. Probably mostly snow. Dumped like 5 inches last night. And all of a sudden winter's back. So just gearing up to another day of running in the snow. Brr. The only way through is to go and run 20 miles of road again today. So today officially marks 1 month of doing the John Colter route. My entire body feels like it's breaking down and falling into small pieces. Give it a few more days and I'll just be a bag of bones that Haley pulls behind the van on a string. Made it to Cook City. Hooray. When I finally made it to Cook, I felt like the entire trip was actually possible. And by that point, I was completely worked. But I just had one final push, and then I was going to be done with the running.
We had a tough trip to Cook this year.
What happened? Keep your toes warm out there. It's cold.
So, and that's a part of the game in Cook City, is sometimes it's the best skiing that you've ever had in your entire life, and sometimes it's the scariest skiing that you've ever had in your entire life.
Preparing for what will hopefully be the final day of running tomorrow. It's gonna be a long day ahead of us. It's gonna be the biggest day of running I've ever done after a full month of running. I'm really hoping my body's gonna put up with it. Hopefully it goes all right.
Doing great, 12 miles in, and it's been a beautiful sunrise. I just finished up the first 22 miles or so. I'm drinking a cup of coffee now and still feeling all right. Hopefully I'll be able to survive the next 40 miles.
The longest day for Sawyer, the last day of running, and we're at the high point. It's all downhill from here.
Almost 3/4 of the way.
All right, Sawyer, where does it hurt?
Really hard. It's just right about. Oh. Oh. 45 miles into the last day right now. Just managed to find yet another road that dead ends in private property, so gotta backtrack a few miles once again. That's awful. There's Cody right down there.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Wow, that was hard.
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God. Oh, made the full loop.
You're done?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, managed to pull off the month of running and survive today. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, that feels really good. A little bit of the bike left. I'm done with the route. Oh. Feel like I've been running for a month.
Oh, pick him up.
Finding that new area is always this intense excitement. And this year, more than anything, I've gotten to do that almost every single day.
The ability to go places where you are truly alone is invaluable.
I can't help but imagine what this area would have looked like 200 years ago. These mountains have had a legacy of adventure, and I wonder what they'll look like 200 years from now.
I drank too much coffee this morning.
Hi.
We're testing the microphone.
Oh, hi.
Those are some scary results.
That is the scariest. Yep.
You having fun?
No.
No.
Ja.
Für mich ist Freeriden einfach mit Freunden rausgehen, fett shredden und Big Sand. Einfach Spaß haben.
Freeriden ist, glaube ich, Freiheit und dementsprechend schauen wir auch, dass sie eine klare Selbstverantwortung übernehmen für ihr Tun. Sie machen Sprünge, dass sie das kontrolliert machen und natürlich die alpine Gefahren. Und das Wichtigste ist, glaube ich, es geht um die Freude am Skifahren, um Spaß haben.
Mein Lieblingstrick ist eindeutig der Backflip, weil ich liebe das Gefühl in der Luft, kopfüber zu sein.
Training gehen wir ganz viel einfach Skifahren, um unsere Skitechnik zu verbessern. Stop and Go reden, wie man sich verhalten am Berg und die ganze Safety-Geschichte.
Ich bin da gelandet, weil ich gern viel Ski fahre und ich mich freue, wenn ich anderen Leuten noch ein bisschen was beibringen kann und wir zusammen viel Spaß haben.
Flurries or sprinkles. Highs up to 40s. Light winds. Saturday, partly sunny. A few flurries or sprinkles. Highs up to 40s.
There's so much of the essence of this landscape is the cold winters and the frozen north and how that has shaped the land and the animals and the people. And sled dogs are a huge part of that story. My name's Jen Raffaelli. Ready? And I'm the kennels manager for Denali National Park and Preserve. One of the things that I'm really committed to with the Park Service sled dogs is making sure that they're truly getting the opportunity to be the working sled dogs that they were bred and raised to be. Winter for the sled dogs of Denali used to be October and November, right up through mid-April or sometimes the end of April. Now we're really lucky if we can start on sleds mid-November and make it to the end of March with a good winter season.
My name is Dennis Kogel. We started Denali Dog Tours and Wilderness Freighters, and we operated that for 10 years. We took passengers and supported skiers and hauled mountain climbing gear to the Muldrow Glacier.
And then with alarming suddenness, plunging recklessly downhill,
as ice breaks clawed for control of the sled.
Putting trails out, you had to either snowshoe or have dogs that could break the trail if it wasn't too deep. 6 weeks it wouldn't go above 20 below. And it just kind of bounced around, but it would be quite a different temperature average than we had this year. It's so mild that we don't know how to react to it. I guess maybe we put our parkas away.
The historical knowledge doesn't necessarily still apply. The historical routes aren't necessarily still reliable. We're encountering changes in vegetation on the ground. You know, we're getting thicker forest or thicker thickets of willows or alders. We have to be extra vigilant when it comes to travel on ice in particular. I think the dogs have just adapted really well to traveling across bare tundra and gravel bars. Looking ahead, it's like, what would this park be like without sled dogs? Every time we choose to use dog teams to access a remote location or to support a project, we're not only gathering important data, but we're also directly contributing to the unique wilderness character of Denali. The kennel staff in the last few winters, I think, has shown that we're capable of creative problem solving, and people across the world have shown we're capable of creative problem solving. How are we going to figure this out before it's too late? How are we going to make sure that the things we hold dear can continue to happen?
Yeah, I can see rock, like this wall's maybe 20 feet. No, just keep her tight. It just sucks to have just such like these question marks. You're like, well, that's a scary line, but then you throw in the conditions and you're like,
yeah. That's like right now, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I'm going straight until this snow doesn't feel good.
3 people just traversing across the super steep slope. Off to the left is a little bad, and it could be white ice, but he doesn't need white ice to turn around.
Whoa, hold on, sorry. I'm realizing you probably have no idea what's going on right now. So, here to fill you in. Well, that was me, Cody. That was when I was up in Alaska trying to climb and ski this really rad line called Pontoon. The reason? Well, beyond it being a really amazing line, is that it's listed as a classic in this book called The 50 Classic Ski Descents of North America. So this whole year I've been traveling all around North America with my buddy and cinematographer Bjarne Salin. trying to do something that no one else in the world has done before, which is to climb and ski all 50 of the lines listed in the book. This has been my first year trying, and I've been lucky enough to ski with some really cool people, skied some incredible snow, skied some pretty shit snow too, but more than anything, I'm learning a lot of lessons along the way. You see, although I've been a professional skier for more than 15 years, this whole world of climbing and ski mountaineering, it's still pretty new to me, which is kind of why this project exists, because I'm using it as an excuse to learn the mountains in a whole new way.
Good job.
Which is why I'm in Alaska, home to some of the best lines on the planet. A place I'm very familiar with, but usually only with helicopters. So this time, I'm gonna be trying something a little different. Skiing the classics, but on foot. This is Pontoon, peak of lore in Alaska. It stands 7,000 feet straight up from sea level, has some legendary steeps, some butt-clenching exposure, and, well, let's get back to that last shot. Maybe we get to see some of these lessons I'm learning along the way.
Could be white ice, but he doesn't need white ice to turn around.
We are just 150, 200 feet from the top of the skiable face. And we are just trying to decide what we want to do from here moving forward.
Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah, you're the man.
Okay, I already decided when I was down there that I'm not gonna go all the way up.
I'll say if Bjarne says that, we're done.
All right, we're nearly at the top, and personally I feel that I don't want to come home and be angry at myself because I did a stupid decision. A good dear friend of mine taught me that once, so it feels great to go down, even though we didn't go all the way up, but it's how it is, you know? Sometimes you just can't go all the way up.
Can do this, and I don't mean to bark orders at you. Ski mode, which is key. First turn, always a doozy. Oh yeah. It kind of continues to feel lame that we don't. We get 9/10 the way up and then ski down, have a good run. But every single one of us just didn't feel that upper section.
I knew what I was feeling in my gut, and I felt like we could go up and we could make it as safe as possible, but I was fearful that it was the wrong decision to go. So as soon as you said it, I was like, done.
What we skied was amazing. What we really wanted to do was not just barely survive the top, we'll just have to come back again.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah.
We are driving to Valdez, Alaska. We are on a strike mission. Last second call, hearing things are materializing. But we have gone through this once already, right? We did do the strike mission call up here once this year. Holy shit, look at it, look at it. Oh my God. That's it. This is why we're coming to Valdez for meteorite. And pull over, we gotta look at this real quick.
I'm not sure how early it'll be. I haven't gone out there when it's this late or this melted out, so.
Sweet. We're gonna go kind of back out there and meander around and try and figure it out. I'll go into town, buy some flagging, some mark kind of our way, and then go from there.
All right.
Sweet. Maybe
Cool,
some
man.
maybe some bear spray too, just in case.
Yeah, we saw a couple a few weeks ago, but I haven't seen any lately, but I'm sure they're there.
Later, man.
All right, bye.
Well, when we were just scouting the route and seeming like very complex and weird, maybe this isn't the way. It's the way. Do you guys have bear spray or?
I'm sorry we have it on order, but we do have shotguns.
This is kind of Alaska, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Zombie slasher. I kinda want one. I mean, actually, I did think last night that it would be good to get a machete because we could be full bushwhacking. I'm gonna get it. It's only 20 bucks.
Yeah.
Here we are on more of an adventure than I actually thought it could be. This is gonna get real quick. Hey, Jared, what's up?
Just on the runway in Talkeetna. How's it going over there?
Good. Let's put it this way. I just went and bought a machete and flagging tape.
Well, good luck, dude, and I'll let you know about my progress.
Okay, sounds good. Good luck out there.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, hey, Marty.
Hey.
What's up?
Good to see ya.
Yeah. This is what I think the crux is. Do we go here and traverse, or are we into here and then boot up?
So do you know the story about meteorite?
I was telling him, I think, but I want to hear your version.
Well, I always thought that, like, oh, cool, it's such an amazing mountain. That's a cool name, meteorite. But then there's reports that in the 30s, a meteor hit it. And the guy went out, and there was like this big smoking pile, and they're like, was it a meteorite? Was it a UFO? And
But that's what's created the face.
And then that's what, in theory, has created the face.
It smells like a fishtail to me, but at the same time, it's a pretty cool story. And I don't know, like I totally see it could.
So that's the zombie slicer.
Yeah. We are walking from where we stand now to that peak all the way back there.
So you're claiming like it's 5 miles before we start going like up.
No, it's 5 miles to like the actual base of the line.
Okay, cool.
So total vert from Google Earth is like 6,000.
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel better. You know, end of April, hanging by the river, spring break.
This part's gonna suck.
Oh my God. Oh, that is so cold. Wow, this is a lot more involved than I thought.
Yeah. I don't know about this.
That rollover is still etched in my brain.
Yeah, because you've ridden this.
25 years ago. I
Out of
figured
a
it
heli. Cool.
Yeah. And it changed my life, that run. It was like...
Meteorite.
Yeah, I just knew at that point that I'm coming to Alaska every spring. Yes!
Thing. Looks even cooler from here.
So plainer. So just brought all our gear for tomorrow, stashing it out here so we can come in really light tomorrow to this point. It's gonna be like all about energy conservation tomorrow.
How was that?
That was exactly what we needed to do. Kinda just figure out the entrance. It's kind of fun to do it on our own without much local data because everyone just flies it in helicopters. Very few people have hiked it from the road.
How's it gonna do?
It's going early. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I can't think right now. All I know is it's just 1:15. And I'm eating a peanut butter and jelly, not because I'm drunk, but because I'm starting the day.
It's definitely gonna be a big day. It's a big mountain, serious mountain, which is why it's 1:15 and having breakfast.
You know what time it is? Best time of your life.
Glad we set the course last night because there is no moon, it was pitch black, make for quite a bit easier dark navigation in theory.
Let's do this, buddy.
Oh, it's still as cold as yesterday. Feels good to actually be moving now. It's all uphill from here.
We are where we stopped yesterday, stashed all our gear, and so we're kind of out of the Alaskan jungle and still 6,000 feet below the peak.
So we're like 5 miles in. It's been slow going, just like complex, schwacky and all that stuff. But we're at the base, the meteorite. We have switched to the crampon and start 6,000 feet to the top. We're gonna switch over, start climbing from here to the top. Now boys, let's go climb this mountain. So the face proper is around the corner. We're trying to gain this ridge line. Stay out from underneath all of that.
We could ditch the rope right here if you want.
Yeah, this is steep.
Dude, I remember this turn. 3 of the best toe turns in my life.
We are trudging along and we're about to get to the part that's gonna make the heartbeat.
Getting energized by my environment. Definitely a foggy night, morning. Feeling the power of the mountain now.
Okay, now is the time to get some purchase. Yeah, boys. Holy hell, does this feel good. Yeah, buddy. Ah, bring it in. That was awesome. That was an amazing climb. Fuck yeah, Bjorn. Yeah.
That's fun. Thanks for retracting it. Holy fuck.
Oh, wow.
I am kicked in.
But some variable, but I think it's gonna be okay. We'll see. 10 seconds. How, buddy? 2, 1. 30 seconds. Yeah, buddy. Wow. Well, meteorite. My first time skiing it from the road. Well, it seems done. I still gotta get back to the road. And I'm having a feeling it's gonna be one heck of an adventure. This day is not over yet.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Oh, nasty. Keep moving. I'll try and keep high for you, but still. We grossly misunderestimated how long this was gonna take. And I feel like I'm gonna puke because I'm so tired. So I've been up since 1 in the morning. It's currently 5 o'clock. This is type 2 fun at its finest.
16 hours into our day. And got some bushwhacking, river crossing, and then the car. But I am feeling it. I'm crushed.
2 a.m. start, a little before 2, and it is now 7:15, so a little after, more than 17 hours, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cheers. Ching, ching.
Cheers. Ching, ching.
Cheers. Let's do it again. Not right now. I don't mean like turn around right now.
I was just like, don't speak to English.
Surprise blue this morning. Could have used a little better night of sleep and a little more rest, but we got a chance to go rebait pontoon with Jer this time. So why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
Sweet, dude.
2 minutes ago when we were about to land, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. 1 minute later when I look at it, I'm like, cool, this looks fun.
Got this beautiful peak. No bushwhacking. Darn direct.
Nice to take a plane in too and not have to walk 45 miles.
Having a blast. Just moving on up. Pontoon peak. Kind of halfway up the exit couloir and feeling good right now.
How's it going, dude? It's going good. Making our way up. Snow feels good. Much better than last time. But we're about to get to the place where you really feel like you just want to keep going fast and get to the ridge.
This is pretty much where we turned around last time.
This is kind of like smooth above me. That could be a slab. Put your pole in the snow. Feel how it's stiff and then it gets
a little hollow.
Well, once I start, dude,
we're not stopping.
Okay, good.
Just space it out a buzz. Just get me to the ridge.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, I got the heart rate.
Yeah. Little exposed there. Moving on up.
Winterland, tell me all your secrets. Lead me in on your
Yeah, buddy.
wildest moments. Colored trees, your yellow leaves move me. Dancing roofs, your painted red shakes the room. When I get
Hell to the yeah.
When I get there, I'll break in your arms, I'll lose control. When I get
These moments when you're on these ridge lines and you're looking out at stuff like this and all that little tension, all the tiredness, all the processes, the stress, and then you get up here and you're like, this is why I get through that, because this is magical. We're rolling. Cody. How about it? Have fun. Woo, yeah.
Open up the sky for me when you say
20 seconds out. Dropping. Heavy. Hey, get in a safe spot and we should move fast. I mean, it's shedding everywhere. So I'm just FYI, all that's new debris.
Yeah, do you see that shit?
And then that was the biggest one that I saw there.
I saw that. I was like, fuck.
So I don't know if we want to throw a drone up quick and get down here or just get down here.
How do you want to do the exit? Do you guys want to go where we came up, which means we are below all that shit?
Whoa. Okay, I will go. I'm gonna stay in the shade, cut left, cut high, go out that way, cut back, our original route that we did last time.
Yeah.
And get out to the bottom, get to sort of...
Yeah, and then radio.
And then radio.
And tell us if we should follow your track or our boot pack.
Okay, sounds good. Feel good with that, or do you want to go first?
No, send it. Just keep it moving.
Get your radio out.
Yeah.
And yeah, like yell in the radio if anything's coming down when I'm in here. Okay, I'm at the stuff. Everything is shedding. Follow my tracks, move fast. I'm gonna grab some things and move out of here.
Yeah, stay down there. If you go first, I'm probably not going to be too far behind you.
Dude, I'm gonna hook. I'm gonna stay right on this. So let's go together.
Okay, let's do that.
Cool. I got it, thanks. Nice.
A little spice at the end of the exit. I came around that corner, looked up, and it was like huge freaking fountain. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, boys.
We should stay with Chop Chop.
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm just throwing my stuff, and then I can grab all this stuff, Bjorn, if you wanna.
That's okay. I got that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, man. That was fun, thank you.
Good job.
You too, buddy. That was epic.
Yeah, that was so cool. How's it feel, dude, to get shut down and come back?
It makes more sense. Like, these are the kind of days where it's like, one, I confirmed that, like, yeah, that was the right call to turn around. Like, that pitch and that top and that spine, how exposed it is with the snow conditions we had. You know, I questioned it. I was like, we could have done it, maybe. And you're like, yeah. But then you get up there and you're like, no, that was the right call.
When the mountains are right, they're right, and then the stuff gets pretty darn simple, and you just can't force kind of right.
No.
To make, you know, like 80% doesn't get you where you need to go.
Don't leave me hanging, boys.
Yeah.
Nice. That was worth coming back for. So sick.
Yeah, that was fun.
Buddy.
Thank you.
It was awesome to be here with Jer, the sensei, the master.
He's so good, man.
So good.
Beautiful rider.
Just watch him come down. I'm like, oh, I got more to learn. Got more to learn.
You're the reason I'm here today to offer you the service.
No way.
Yeah, because you filmed that Mount Timlin movie.
Yeah, right out of your backyard.
Yeah. You can pull the camera off. But yeah, it was so inspiring. Like, I kept watching that video over and over again.
Sweet, dude. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm inspired by your love of the mountain.
Oh my God. Still sucks. Yeah, dude. Ow. This hurts.
This is pontoon. And to climb it, that'll pucker even your butthole.
Ready to call it up here. Go home for a little bit. Start touring some volcanoes. Do some mellow stuff.
Thank you for attending the 15th Annual Winter Wildlands Alliance Backcountry Film Festival. See you again next year.